Hi, good day. My name is Filipio Villar, and I am here to discuss and answer question 1, 2, and 3 in botany. First question: what is the difference between plant anatomy and plant physiology? Plant anatomy refers to the detailed structure of the plant: leaf, stem, roots, flowers, and fruits. Plant anatomy is the study of the tissue and cell structure of the plant organs. The term anatomy as applied to plants generally deals with structures that are observed under a high-powered light microscope or electron microscope, while plant physiology is concerned with the process that occur within the plant that account for it being alive and productive. Plant physiology is the study of metabolic processes in plants. A limited explanation of plant physiology is represented dealing specifically with photosynthesis. Physiology and anatomy are tightly correlated as cell and tissue structure has changed with respect to the evolution of novel functional mechanism. So, question number 2. Enumerate and discuss the function of major plant parts. There are 4 major plant parts: the roots, stem, leaf, and flower. Roots plays a very important role in the pulling the water and minerals so they can reach the plant. Furthermore, it also expands within the ground so that for better water absorption, the water increases. Roots also play the role of anchors, which helps in creating better stability. Stem. The stem is the part that stays above the ground. A stem usually bears leaves, fruits, plus flowers. It distributes the nutrients and minerals all the way from the plant to the leaves. Furthermore, the stem is the support system of the plant. Leaf. It is safe to say that a leaf is one of the most important part of the plant. It contains chlorophyll, which access to plants in preparation for food. Moreover, the veins of a leaf allow the flowing of nutrients plus water. Flower. The bright and beautiful part of the plant, which you see, is the flower. They play a role in making food. A flower has female as well as male parts. Both of these work collectively to fertilize the plant so it can produce seeds. Question number 3. What are the parts found in a shoot system and root system? The shoot system consists of the stems and leaves of the plant. More specifically, it includes the nodes, internodes, axillary, buds, terminal bud, and leaves. The leaf has 4 parts as well: the stalk, blade, veins, and petiole. Parts of a root include the primary root, lateral roots, the apical meristem, and a root cap and root hairs. A cross-sectional view of an herbaceous dicot root reveals the epidermis, cortex, endodermis, pericycle, and vascular tissues. Plant root systems are either a taproot system or a fibrous root system.
Xylem is the complex tissue of plants, responsible for transporting water and other nutrients to the plants. Phloem is living tissue responsible for transporting food and other organic materials. Phloem transport food materials that are prepared by the green parts of the plants to other parts of the plants. Growth ring. In a cross-section of the stem of a woody plant, the increment of a wood added during a single growth period. In temperate region, the growth period is usually 1 year, in which case the growth ring may be called an annual ring. In tropical region, growth ring may not be discernible or not annual?
So in this video, I am going to answer the question number 6, which is to describe each of the internal structure of the leaf. So let us proceed to the first one, which is the epidermal cells. Epidermal cells are tightly packed cells to prevent water loss. If the conditions is very hot or cold, this can be several layers thick. It allows light to pass through for photosynthesis. The second one is the palisade mesophyll. Palisade mesophyll is also called the palisade parenchyma. It is tightly packed column-shaped cells that can be 1, 2, or 3 thick. It contains many chloroplasts which are used for photosynthesis. Spongy mesophyll. Spongy mesophyll is also called the spongy parenchyma. It is irregular shape and loses packed cells. It contains some chloroplasts. Air space between cells allow for gas exchange. So then the air space is the intercellular space. So the fourth one is the stomata. Stomata, it allows for gas exchange. It guards cells can open and close the opening as needed. Mostly, the stomata is located on the lower lip surface to minimize water loss. So the last one is the guard cells. The function of guard cells is to guard the entrance and the exit of the leaf. So let's proceed to question number 7. What is the role of photosynthesis in plants and why it is important? So the role of photosynthesis in plants is to transform water, sunlight, carbon dioxide into oxygen, and simple sugars that plant uses as fuels. Why is it photosynthesis is important? Photosynthesis is important because it provides the building blocks necessary to create complex molecules and in turn cells. Not just that, photosynthesis is the main source of our food and it gives us an important element for the survival of life, which is the oxygen.
Hi everyone, this time I will explain the water movement of plants. Now, water is required for plant survival. Osmosis is the process through which water moves from the roots to the stems and finally to the leaves in plants. So, how does water circulate? Plant roots dig deep into the soil in search of water and minerals that will help the plant thrive. Water moves into root hair cells due to osmosis in the roots. Water can spread throughout the plant after it enters the root hair cells. Now, water enters the root cortex and then flows through the endodermis. It can then gain access to the xylem tubes, allowing plants to transport water. Xylem is the plant structure that allows water to travel from the root to the leaf. Water travels up to the plant's xylem tubes until it reaches mesophyll cells, which are spongy cells with the tiny pores called stomata that release the water. Next is, what are the factors needed for plant growth? Plant requires 5 things to grow. We have sunlight, a consistent temperature, moisture, air, and nutrients. These 5 elements are provided by the natural or man-made environment under which plants live. Growth of the plant can be affected if any of these components are missing. Another question is, give at least 5 plant growth hormone and discuss each. Plant hormones are naturally produced by the plant. There are 5 groups of plant growth regulating compounds. These are auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene, and abscisic acid. Each group contains both naturally occurring hormones and synthetic substances. First is we have auxin. Auxin is the active ingredient in most rooting compounds in which cuttings are dipped during vegetative propagation. It causes several responses in plants like flower formation, fruit set, and growth. Next is gibberellins. It stimulates cell division and elongation, breaks seed dormancy, and speed germination. The seeds of some species are difficult to germinate. Now you can soak them in a GA solution to get them started. Next is a cytokinin. It stimulates cell division, and often are included in the sterile media used for growing plants from tissue culture. Cytokinins also are used to delay aging and death. Next is we have ethylene. Ethylene is unique in that it can only be found in a gaseous state. It promotes senescence by inducing ripening, causing leaves to droop and drop, and inducing epenesty And then last is we have abscisic acid. Abscisic acid, or ABA, is a general plant growth inhibitor. It induces dormancy and prevents seeds from germinating. Causes abscission of leaves, fruits, and flowers, and causes stomata to close. High concentrations of ABA in gourd cells during periods of drought stress probably play a role in stomatal closure.